Hello, Twitter baby dolls. Have you heard of my friend named Rick Hard? Well, PulseChain and PulseX are out, and it just so happens that the collective mindset of everybody in the market valued Pulse relative to HEX in the same ratio as the ETH BTC ratio. Now, my friend Rick Hard has an ETH BTC prophecy. Would you like to see it? Because I'm going to show you it right now. In the fourth quarter of 2022, someone on Twitter Spaces, thank you, Baby Doll, for asking this question. He said, Sir Rick Hard, what is your long-term target for Bitcoin and Ethereum? And you know what Rick said? Rick said Bitcoin is $200,000. Ethereum, $100,000. His target was about 5 years. If you do the ETH BTC ratio from that, you get Rick Hard's target for ETH BTC as 0.50. I'm going to now show you how gargantuanly big this is for the ETH BTC ratio we're looking at. Do you see this arrow here? This is the box where ETH BTC lies in now, but it's also the box where the pulse to hex ratio is. See, pulse to hex. It's roughly where the pulse to hex ratio is right now. If you map out 0.50 on this chart, you will see it is a big fat distance. So Sir Rick Hard has probably told us the pulse to hex ratio is probably bullish over time. You can go to Dex Screener and you can click on the hex chart. And what you should do is, see these 3 dots of friendship? You're going to click here and go to invert. You will be able to see the pulse to hex ratio. Now, this is not the correct one because it's only p-hex. The real ratio has to add up both e-hex and p-hex in the denominator. But at the end of the day, there's 2 things that are true. Number 1, if ETH BTC is actually the big daddy where pulse to hex was emulated from, and we know they are, then that suggests, based off Ricardo's target himself, that pulse will outperform hex over time. You have to think about your portfolio. How much are you going to rotate? Don't do too much. If you go back to the beginning of ETH BTC, I would like you to know this. All right, this chart is not the full one. It went down here. Woo! Okay, you did not need to gamble on Ethereum with your Bitcoin using a large portion of your stack. If you had like back when Bitcoin was $400, if you had like 5 Bitcoin, you could have put like 1 in. And that's a huge, by the way. You could have put like half a Bitcoin, 10%. And it still worked out. So we have liquidity bonding now. So we might not get an aggressive parabola like this for Pulse Hex. But it's still important to note, if you have no Pulse, when the bridge comes out, or alternatively, you can buy HEX on Ethereum now and rotate into Pulse later. That's your option. Okay, but don't disregard Pulse because perhaps the answer lies in Ricardo's forecast himself. If Ethereum is going to flip Bitcoin, then probably there will be a slight upwards drift, slightly up and to the right for the Pulse to HEX ratio. Okay, that was the first revelation. And the second revelation is that you are my friend. Like, subscribe, bell button, or follow me on Twitter. Love you all. Catch you next time, friends.